First take, partying like it's 1999, these Knicks fans. New York going back to the NBA Finals. The Knicks have won 11 straight games in the postseason, and it started in Game 4 of the first round against the Hawks. Despite trailing in the series 2-1, New York won each of the next 3 games by 15 or more points to advance to the East semis. In those semis, the Knicks met the 76ers. They showed no signs of slowing down. In a sweep, the Knicks finished off the Sixers in Philadelphia by scoring 144 points in Game 4, their most in a playoff game in franchise history. A date with the Cavs followed in the conference finals, but it was a quick one. The Knicks completed another sweep and will enter the finals with a plus 19.4 points per game differential, the highest in NBA history. And so now the question is, I can't believe I'm asking this question, but I'm going to do it. Is this Knicks finals run the best finals run ever? Stephen A. Smith, go ahead. Like in all of the NBA.
What's up, y'all? What's good?
Jay Wells here.
Jay, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? Good to see you, man.
I see you, Cam. I see you with the suit today, SA. Always looking fly.
Good to see you, man.
I was thrown by the question. Go ahead, Stephen A.
I love my New York.
Don't do it.
Know that.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I can't say yes to this. I'm going to say the answer to this is no.
Thank
It's nice to see them doing what they're doing, but they're not the 2017 Golden State Warriors.
Absolutely.
They're 15 straight before losing Game 4 to LeBron and Kyrie dropping 40 and LeBron having 31 before they won that series in 5 games. That's not what happened. And so I look at that run and how historic that was with Kevin Durant arriving in Golden State for the first year. I'm thinking about 2001 Los Angeles Lakers where the Diesel was in his prime with Kobe and the crew. And they lost one game, won like 12 shit or whatever, lost the game in the NBA Finals. Allen Iverson, whatever it was, dropped 48. And then, you won the rest of your games. And of course, you look at Moses Malone in Philly. And with Dr. J and Tony and Cheeks and those boys, he said 4-4-4. It ended up being 4-5-4, whatever. But, the New York Knicks have been impressive. They deserve a lot of credit, no doubt about that. But when you look at the level of competition, when you look at the greatness of those teams, when you see who they were going against and what they did and how dominant they were, I can't call this run by the New York Knicks the greatest. I can't do that.
Stephen A., you've been in the sun, man. I see how your complexion getting close to here. Okay,
No. They it's the orange and blue skies, and then they touch me up with a little darker to make me look a little orange. That's all it is.
Okay, I like it though. It's a good look. It's a strong look.
Oh, no, but I'm going to be in the sunshine.
Yeah.
Whether it's San Antonio or OKC, it gets hot in those places. And New York is steaming, obviously, right now. It'll be official once I arrive back in town.
Okay.
I'm happy to hear you agree on that because I was about to lose my mind if you had said it had been the best runs ever. First off, you need to complete the deal, which I'm glad you said that because the Lakers, Golden State, they completed the deal. I guess the thing, because I got asked this on the last show about, is this one of the best runs we've ever seen? I think it has the point differential is separate to me than the actual run itself against the quality of competition. Right? Not all championships, Cam, are created equally here if they're able to pull that through. Now, Philly, with the way Joel Embiid was, Atlanta, with the way Atlanta was, watching Cleveland go through 2 Game 7s, be a shell of themselves, that credit is still on the Knicks for beating up on their opponent and taking their lunch money when the opportunity comes about. Even if they win against the Spurs or OKC, I still can't look at this Knicks team and say, it may be one of the greatest runs that we've seen because of the way it makes it feel because they're a team. They're not as star-driven, but you have to complete the deal for that to happen. I still don't know if I can say it's one of the best runs I've ever seen because of how dominant they've been against a conference that I don't feel like has measured up to the Western Conference as relates to just power conference in general.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Golden State. When they acquired KD, but they acquired KD after winning 73 games. That's the best run you've been on. The reason why this is an interesting question, right, Jay, right, Stephen A., is because we expected Golden State to do that. We expected the Lakers that you brought up that I actually forgot about, Stephen A., to do that. We're not expecting the Knicks to go on an 11-game winning streak, and I didn't get a chance to get this take last segment, but we're sitting there, Stephen A. had mentioned how Well, look, it's not the Atlanta Hawks. We seen them beat up the Sixers. We seen what they did to the Cavaliers. It's not the New York Knicks' fault they pulled the belt out and spanked them dudes. It's absolutely not their fault. They played the level of competition that was in front of them, and after game 3 against the Atlanta Hawks, it was BTA. The rest of the way. The rest of the way, it was BTA. So we're sitting there saying, and I'm agreeing with it, the competition is going to be different when you play against Shea or pardon me, the alien, when you get to the championship. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying it's the greatest player run, but it's very unexpected. And they broke a lot of records along the way, so I do want to give the Knicks some credit. But greatest ever, I got to go with the Golden State Warriors, but that was kind of a foregone conclusion after you win 73 games the prior season.
It sounded like, Stephen A., it kind of sounded like you and Jay Will kind of co-signed this. If they actually win the finals, you might consider it run in NBA history.
No, it doesn't sound like that. No.
I did a little bit.
I still would do it because ultimately, listen, in the world of competition, you have to take into account the competitor. And when you look at the Atlanta Hawks, the Philadelphia 76ers, and these Cleveland Cavaliers, less about Cleveland and more so about Philly and Atlanta, the road to prosperity was relatively easy to travel. And that's what you have to take into consideration and into account. Not much was expected from either of those teams this year. And that's how you got to look at it. With Golden State, L.A., the path that they had to go through to get to where they were. They just ramrodded folks. They were very, very dominant. But those were pretty damn good teams they ended up taking out. And that's what you have to look at.
Are you saying the East is weak?
The East is weak. I think the East is weaker than the West this year, no question.
Okay.
Conspicuously so.
Right.
But in the past, that wasn't the case.
Okay.
Cam, I will say this, though. Like 118 Knick point differentiation in elimination games on the road against the Hawks, 76ers, and Cavs. Yes, the East is down. But if they complete the deal, let's not forget the 5 first-round picks that the world was about to implode on.
That's right.
When they went from Mikal Bridges.
It was me.
I know, not just you.
Me.
I was part of it too now. I was with you too. Yeah. Let's not forget about where we just were with Karl Anthony Towns when he had a lot of fouls, and now he's playing a lot better. Let's not forget where we were with Jalen Brunson last year in Thibodeau. Let's not forget where we were a month ago, S.A. and Cam. A month ago, on a lot of our friends' text groups, chats, Steve and I remember some people were ready to blow it up. Ready to blow it up. So, sometimes when we say best run doesn't mean by dominance now. It could, if they close the deal, it could be one of those things where you're like, damn, I've never seen, they beat them like that? Cam, you said beat it A, right? BTA. That's what they've been doing. So at some point, if they find a way to do it in the finals, right, we're going to have to put some serious respect on